In this video, we're gonna be working on an iPhone 6s Plus that came in for no touch. Customer found our video on YouTube and he came into the store. He lives right next door, and his iPhone 6s Plus does not respond to touch. I asked the customer if this phone has been opened before. He said yes. He was trying to fix the loudspeaker down on the bottom, so I do not know what really happened. So we do not know what's going on. We're gonna open it together and see why touch is not working. We also got 2 mailings today. This one is from Ricky, coming from Atlanta, Georgia. The other one is from Felix, coming from New Jersey. All right, so let's open them and see what's inside. Okay, so we do have a paper here. Let's see what the paper says. The FPC connector is damaged, making the touch screen disabled. Estimate. The customer called in. I provided the customer with an estimate, and this is for model A1489. This is probably an iPad mini. So iPad mini with a bad FPC connector. Okay, good packaging. Okay, so this is an iPad mini. Let's open this package and see what's inside. Okay, so this is well packaged also. Nothing inside the box. And this one looks like it's an iPhone. Actually, it's not an iPhone. It's a blue phone. Oh, I think this customer called in a few days ago. Okay. Blue phone. He did not send any paper inside the package, but we can look up his mail submission on our system. I think I remember the customer, his charging port is not good, so we will be fixing the charging port on this. Screen looks good and everything looks good. He called in for a charging port issue. So we'll do the blue phone and the iPad mini probably in future videos. But for now, let's see what's going on with this iPhone 6s Plus that is not responding to touch. The first thing I want to do is open the phone and look under the FPC connector. I want to see if there's any damaged components or any missing components. If we do not find any missing components, then we have to do further investigation to see what's going on. Let's take a look to see what's going on. And yes, the screen has been taken off before. There's a missing shield that goes on top of the components, and I do see 2 missing components here. 1, 2. We have 2 missing components. Just one moment. Hello, how are you?
Good, yourself?
All right, all right.
Let's get my phone repaired.
Which one?
Hey.
Let's go ahead and open up the diagram for 6s Plus. Look at this. It's the SPI, AP to touch, SLK con. This filter is responsible for the functionality of the touch. If the filter does not exist on the board or the filter is blown, then touch is not going to work. So let's go ahead and solder a filter. So we have 1, 2, 3 right over here. And the phone is turning on. And the touch is working. Touch is good. And that's it. The job's done. Touch is working. 78984. I don't want to put the wrong password. Let's go to emergency. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Blah blah blah. Everything's good. Where's Mariam?
Mimi, coming.
Come. Where's Mariam? Come. You want to fix? You wanna fix with me? Ah, right here. Are you paying me a visit? Okay. Say hi. Say hi to the camera. Hi.
Right there. Yeah, hi.
Alright, let me just stop the video.
Where you gonna use it?
So right now we have the blue phone. We have the iPad mini that we need to change the FEC connector on. We have an Xbox One X that we need to change the HDMI port on. And we also have a Galaxy S2 that came in for no charge. It doesn't power on. This customer wants the tablet as soon as possible, so I'm gonna go ahead and start with this one. The first thing I do is I try to plug it in the charger and monitor the amp meter to see if there's any amps being drawn by this tablet. So let's go ahead and do that right now. And the amp meter reads 0.41. So that tells me that amps are being drawn and the battery could be charging. Amps being drawn does not mean that the battery is being charged. It could also mean that there's a problem somewhere on the board where there's maybe a semi-short on the board that's drawing the amps and sending the amps down to ground. I do not know. So even with the charger plugged in, we do not see anything on the screen. What I want to do is inspect the board under the thermal cam. I want to see if there's any hot spots on the board. Let me go ahead and plug the charging cable and see if we see anything obvious or if there's any hot spots on the board. Oh, so right off the bat I see a hot spot right over here. Let me check the charging port area. Charging port area is right over here and no hot spots here. So the only hot spot on the board is this area here. This looks like an IC, a chip. And the temperature on this IC is 252 degrees. That's a lot. So this is most definitely a short. Let me put the meter in manual mode. And I'm going to raise the temperature boundaries here. I want to see what's the hottest component on the board. So the hotspot is on the IC. Right, let me just take the customer and I'll be right back.
I have to call or talk to you
Yes,
about my. You can say-
NorthridgeFix?
Hello, I have a brand new iPad
So
Pro.
the thermal camera, let's see the temperature on the chip right now. 280 degrees. That's a lot. That is a lot. Let me unplug the charger. So we know that the chip is the hottest area on the board, but I still want to inspect the circuit around the chip to see if there's anything obvious. The chip that was heating up on the thermal cam is this one here, and this is most likely the charging IC or the power IC. I do not know. I haven't looked up the chip online, but I want to check the surroundings to see if there's any component that has any signs of burn, any signs of something blown. This whole area looks good. It's most likely the IC itself and nothing else. Or look at that right there, and it's blown right here. We see a hole on the component. That's a blown component. What I'm going to do is remove this component and then check the board under the thermal camera again. If this component is burned, then we do have a salvaged board that we can take this component out from. That salvaged board was left to us by a customer that had a broken screen, and the screen was going to cost him more than the price of the tablet, so he just left the whole thing for us. We can now use it for components. Let me go ahead and remove this component and see if that will get rid of the hot spot on the board.
Yes, hi. I was calling to see, do you have a price range for if it has an EFI that needs to be removed? I have two iMacs.
I want to plug the charging cable in and check out the thermal camera again. The chip that was heating up is right here. Let's monitor and see if that chip is going to get hot after we plug the charging cable in. The short is not gone. We have other issues on the board. Let's unplug. Now I wonder if there are any capacitors that are short on the board. Let's go ahead and test. And we do not have a short. Let's test this one. We do not have a short. So most likely the problem is this IC here. Now I do not have an IC in stock. What I'm going to do is order one. Let me quickly search this chip and see what this chip does. SM-T813 and this is a USB charging IC. We cannot find the chip in the US for this. How are you doing?
I'm good. I've got one more problem. Like my son is autistic, so he's
right now we can only find the chip from China, so the customer has to wait. We'll probably order a couple of them. So no fix in this video, but at least I got to show you where the problem was. And I'll start working on the Xbox One X and we'll post the video right after this one. I'll see you in the next video.